Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Joel.
I'm Megan.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Mimi.
I'm Pop Pop.
I'm Kelly.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
There it goes.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Good morning, ladies. Hey, good morning, little moo cows. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We've been off to a great start this morning. Farm market has been really busy already, which is something we weren't expecting, but we are heading into the weekend, and it usually gets pretty busy around the weekend. So far this morning, everyone's been kind of working on their own little thing. Matthew has been moving plants around. Dad was at the wholesaler. As you guys saw, he is now home. And Daniel has been planting beans since I don't know how early this morning. Now, when it comes to Daniel, things have been going relatively smooth. We haven't ran into any trouble. However, we got a call from him this morning, and he does need some help. So we're gonna be on our way to help him. I just had to take the bucket over. I had some stuff in the bucket that I needed to dump out. We're getting ready to put up that new addition for the cattle. So, you know, we got so much stuff going on. Oh, creek's looking a little high. Anybody want to go swimming? We have now made it to the farm that Daniel is currently planting at. He finally mentioned what the issue was. He says he has a few trees that have fallen down and they are not allowing him to finish off a few fields. So we're gonna bring the 130 to wherever he's at, get these trees pushed out of the way so that he can finish his planting. We do have to be careful though. This farm is notorious for getting tractors stuck. And I don't want to be the one that gets a tractor stuck today. Oh, we found our first culprit. Not too big, but it definitely would be a pain to move by yourself, that's for sure. But why hurt ourselves when we have equipment? We just got Daniel all taken care of, so he should be able to finish this field. He did mention there is a large tree down somewhere on this farm. We gotta go looking for it. Now this farm I'm at is a little bit on the larger side, so we are gonna have to look around a little bit just to find where this tree is at. But once we find it, we'll get it all taken care of. There it is! We found the tree. Hey, that is a pretty large one. Okay, we'll have to be careful here. I think it broke in half too because I still have half a tree there. Yeah, let's get you out of my field here. Yeah, that is a big tree, wow. I got everything thrown and pushed back deep enough, so if anybody mows this, it shouldn't damage their mower. That should about do it. I went for a quick ride and I don't see any more trees. I think Daniel's good to go. Look at this section of field. I think it's a little wet here. Thankfully, it's not too wet today. I did not want to get stuck. Look at this poor little guy I found, just waiting for beans.
I need beans.
How's the planting been going so far?
I've been having fun.
Excellent.
I only have 14 acres left. I'm almost done.
That's a happy Daniel. It's not every day Daniel has to ride in the buddy seat. Oh, this is an exciting one for him.
I think I should drive.
Not today, Daniel, not today. And just like that, he leaves me now that Dad's here with his seed. But I guess that makes sense. Who's this guy right here? Oh. I am now home. The farm market seems to be pretty busy. People aren't really picking up flowers though. They seem to be looking at vegetable plants, which I guess we're getting towards that time of the year. Dad was working on taking care of the animals, so I just wanted to make my way down around back, see if he was able to get finished. And if he was not able to finish, well then I'm just gonna do the rest. What's up, ladies? I'm just seeing if the eggs are gone. Oh yeah, the eggs are gone. And you girls? Oh, you look good. Excuse me, coming through, trying to leave. Hey ladies. What's going on in here? I'm just coming to see if the eggs have been collected. Oh, it looks like the eggs have not been collected in here. We'll go grab a basket and get this taken care of. Excuse me, coming through. Excuse me. probably gonna need another bucket or two, but at least I can get started collecting eggs. What did all of you think of those double yolkers from last video? It's always a good day when you pull a double yoker. I'll tell you what, it's a bad day to be a red bucket. Thankfully though, we are not a red bucket and we got the eggs collected. One of the big questions I get asked when people come to the farm market is if I ever get tired of doing the same job every day. And that is kind of an interesting question because it all depends on what I'm doing, really. I don't mind working. I love working, actually. When you get to do what you love every day, I mean, I would still call it work, but it's enjoyable work. What I would say is it's more a circumstance than anything because as much as I talk about how much I don't like picking peas, I do not terribly hate picking peas some days. However, on the days where it's really busy or things just aren't working correctly, we've got equipment breaking down, we've got troubles in the farm market, we've got troubles all over the place, then no job is really that enjoyable. For the most part though, everything that we do on the farm, I do enjoy it. Do I get tired of doing some things? After a while, yeah. We feed animals every day, that doesn't really bother me. You know, taking care of the greenhouses, that doesn't really bother me. I just dropped the red bucket. I would say it falls more on circumstance. When things are really busy and hectic, it can make these jobs less enjoyable. But you gotta take it for what it is. You're feeding animals, you're having a good time, you're making a living. Young lady, what are you doing? Just out for a stroll? Alrighty, we'll let you. I'll chase her. Come on. Come on. Animals are now all taken care of for the day. I wanted to bring you into greenhouse number 5. Show you how much things have changed. You can see that we do not have any hanging baskets in here. We do have a few hanging cherry tomatoes, but I believe those are sold. And the only other things in here are a few flowers, but mostly vegetable plants. And not just any vegetable plants, our vegetable plants. Right here on the ground, we have some beautiful pickling cucumbers. We have some zucchini around here. We also have some regular cucumbers. And then moving to the back, we have some tomatoes for sales. But then the big thing, the big thing that we're looking at, and that's peppers that we are gonna be planting into the soil very shortly. Now, it still is early for where we live, but we're getting closer. Day by day, we are getting closer. And this right here is a part of our first and largest planting of peppers. Compared to how things looked a few weeks ago, this greenhouse does look pretty empty. I will admit that. Down here. Do you see all this open table in here? Man, that's wild. We are filling it up though. We do have some later plantings that are going in here. We're always constantly transplanting and preparing different types of trays for sales. Like all of this here, these smaller tomatoes, these are for sales. We move back a little further, we have some basil. Here is more tomatoes, and then even more tomatoes that are for sales. And over here we have even more tomatoes. We have some lettuce, spinach. We have peppers. Well, that's something a little different. These are all peppers that are for sales. As we go through these early months in the year, we do a lot of transplanting, not only for ourselves, but for the customers.
I'm gonna see the animals.
You wanna go see the animals?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Come here, you wanna pet him?
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, he feels so nice.
Yeah, he feels very nice, doesn't he? We're gonna let him go and run back under the warmth.
Oh, he likes his friends.
Yeah, he loves his friends. Look at the fuchsia. These are one of Mommy's favorites. Look at these. We are coming up on lunchtime, so Dad just gave me a call and asked me to run over and pick up Daniel. That way he doesn't miss lunch. And you know what? I couldn't imagine someone missing lunch. That would be just terrible. So we're running over to grab him. Oh, you can tell he was ready for lunch. He is steaming on his way over here. It is lunchtime, and look what Grammy has got here for us. A few different types of homemade pies. Got a cheese pie. What's this one?
Peppers and onions.
Peppers and onions. We got a broccoli and cheese, and then a buffalo chicken. Wow. And I also see we got some fresh sliced watermelon. Oh, that Sounds good to me. I'm gonna be enjoying this. We just got finished with lunch, and for the afternoon, we've got a special treat for you. Dad just ran over and grabbed the water wheel transplanter, and we are gonna be planting some cucumbers, zucchini, and pickling cucumbers today. What we have right here is gonna be going into the soil. And if that's not a special treat for today, I don't know what's a special treat. Here we have the piece of equipment that we're gonna be using, our water wheel transplanter. For those of you that have never seen it, this is a pretty interesting piece of equipment. What we have is our water tanks that will feed down into our wheel that is spinning. You'll notice these spikes will poke a nice hole down into the mulch, and this will continuously spin, adding more holes into the soil. And then whoever is sitting on the back will just put the plants down into the soil. Now, before we can get started, we need to do some maintenance. By maintenance, this one doesn't have a seat, and this seat is broken. But we got 2 new seats, so that is the maintenance, putting new seats on. Yeah, give that the old WD-40. Now, what's nice about these new seats is that they should line right up, and we can just screw up from the bottom with our new bolts that were given to us. Everything should match up. Keyword, should. And it's looking like it's gonna. Oh, that feels right. Feels right, Joel.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's exciting. Oh, he's pushing my seat on me. Now, the wheel we did have on here was a 24-inch wheel, and that spacing's a little wide for what we need. We're looking for about 15 inches between each plant. So Joel ran up to grab the 15-inch spacing wheel. Once we have the wheel on, we get filled up with a little bit of water here, we'll be good to go.
The boy spends too much time in the tractor. These are beautiful.
They smell so good.
We only want about 25 plants.
Grammy planted way too much.
Grammy planted the whole tray. We are not planting the whole tray, just so you know. Don't plant more than 25.
But Grammy wants us to plant the whole thing.
Grammy's not the boss yet.
Oh. What do you think of all that yellow zucchini, Joel? What should we do with it?
I think we should only plant 25. For some reason, people don't like to buy it too much. So if we plant too much, then you'll have people later in the channel, later on in the year, upset that it's not all getting picked.
There you go. See? That's why we don't plant too much. And for those of you that have missed Joel, he's been very busy on his channel, A Stable Life. If you don't watch it, check it out. He's been so busy, he hasn't been able to help us, but guess what? Today, he made some time and he's gonna be helping us. So he's gonna be working on the right side because he gets to plant with his left hand, and I'll be working on the left side because I plant with my right hand. For those of you that do not know, Joel is left-handed. Show him how it works. And that's just impressive. Planter is all loaded up and ready to go. We're just waiting for our water tanks to fill up. We've got our pickling cucumbers. We have got our regular cucumbers. We have got our zucchini, yellow squash, and yellow zucchini. And I think we're ready to get started. We've got our planter all filled up and ready to go. We've got our Joel in the side-by-side. We're ready to get planting. Yeah, boy! Woohoo! Damn! Isn't that crazy? That's a lot of rocks. A lot of rocks. That's a lot of rocks. Look at all those rocks. Joel and I are now on the planter. We are ready to go. Water wheel transplanter is all set. All we're gonna have to do is turn on the water, and that's it. We'll start putting plants into the soil. Ooh.
Pretty kind of cool to see how this thing works, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, it's super cool. Now, what's interesting is as we're going out through here, the hole is getting filled up with water from the water wheel transplanter, and then as we put the ball, the root ball, down into the soil and push it down in, the water helps suck it fast to the soil. So we don't have to worry about covering over the plants because the water is going to do that for us. So very interesting, very neat, and very efficient method of planting. And we've used this for a few years now. Well, I should say we've used this my entire life. But this planter that we have has always done a great job at making sure our plants have a great start.
You say this is about 2 decades?
I'd say when I was about 5 or 6 we got it. Maybe not that long, because we did have one before it, but someone broke the seats off of it, So we ended up getting a new one.
How come you didn't just replace the seats?
Well, they kind of broke all the metal too.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know who it was. Might have been me.
I think you do know who it
I
was.
might have been a husky lad, but it was Matthew. Secret's out. Now you can run this machine with one person, but it is much more difficult. That's why it's nice to have two people on the machine. And we're very grateful that Joel was able to help us today. Because if Joel wasn't going to be able to help us, well, we'd have to move much slower. We would actually end up using more water, and that water would be going to waste. So the fact that we have Joel here with us is a giant help. Now, Joel doesn't always have to come and help us, but on the days where he does, we are very, very grateful. And that's why it's nice to always have family working together, because if Joel needs help, we go over and help him. If we need help, he's willing to come over and help us. And that's what makes everything much more enjoyable, and that's what makes this whole big thing work, because you can do all your jobs by yourself, but on some days, it just doesn't make sense to it. So it's nice to always have help, especially from the family. We just got our first row planted. I think it went pretty good. Joel and I didn't miss any. That's always a bonus, and everything on the machine seems to be working all right. Now, as we're going out through, you will notice there is a little puddle of water in each one of these holes. That is one of the most important things. Now, we got to make sure it's not too much water and that it's not too little. Because if it's too much and water is running out of the hole, well, then we're just wasting water. But if there's not enough in there, it's going to make the transplant very difficult. We could actually hurt our fingers if there's not enough moisture in there, because we'd just be pushing into dry dirt. And that will hurt you. You get stones on your fingernails. It's just not fun. So we try and make sure we have plenty of water in there. And that ultimately is what makes this a more enjoyable job. And thankfully today, it seems like everything is working accordingly. Now you will have to adjust it based on weather. If it's a little too dry, you might need to add a little more water. If you're in a field that doesn't drain away, well, then you'll have to use less water. Those are just a few things you have to keep in mind, especially while you're transplanting. And one of the #1 reasons why this is a nice method of transplanting is because if you wanted to, you could add fertilizer as well. Now, we're not adding fertilizer today. We added fertilizer before we laid our mulch. But if we wanted to add another dose today, we could have. That's one of the benefits of using water wheel transplanters.
Tell you what, these are some good looking pickle plants.
Let me tell you. Joel is finishing off the last of the pickling cucumber plants. And then we're moving on to just regular cucumbers. And here we go! Woohoo! So we got basically 3 rows of pickling cucumbers, which that'll be a lot when the time comes. But for now, that ain't too bad. Look at that. What a beauty. We've made a lot of progress. We just ran out of water, so Dad is running back to get more water. Hold up, Dad, we're leaking. Let's just stop the leak here. All right, now we're done leaking. So we've made a lot of progress here. We've got 4 rows completed. We have about enough plants for maybe 2 or 3 more. It's worked out great. We haven't had any problems. Joel and I have been working great together, getting all these transplants into the soil. We're definitely gonna be able to get this finished today. I think we're all excited about that. So we've had somewhat of a large wrench thrown into our plans. Daniel was able to get all the beans planted. Good job, Daniel, proud of you. But now that we are finished with this machine, we'd like to get it back to the place that we rented it from so that they don't charge us for an extra day. So instead of going back out and finishing off everything that we had on the transplanter, we're gonna be helping Daniel get this thing road ready, all cleaned off, and taken back to the place where we rented it from. Altogether, I think we are really feeling good on how planting went with this piece of equipment. I think we're gonna be doing this in the future. It saved a lot of time, it saved a lot of headaches, and you know, as a farmer, that's valuable to us. Having lots of time and no headaches. That does mean we are all finished with transplanting for the day. We only had a few more cucumbers and a few more zucchinis on here. We did add some tomatoes, but it's early. We'll be able to get this taken care of another day. I think we're all just very excited that we were able to get all the beans planted, and we were able to get some of this stuff planted as well. It's in the air. I feel it coming. I feel harvest is around the corner. once we got all the plants moved off of the transplanter, I ended up watering a few of these greenhouses here. And then Dad said he didn't want this sitting down around back, so I'm gonna move this to a spot where it won't be in the way. There we go. That should do for now. Out of the way. Well, everyone, the farm market ended up getting a little busy here at the end of the day. But besides that, there wasn't too much else that was going on. Dad and Daniel got that piece of equipment taken back, so we will not get charged an extra day for it. That's what the goal was, so we no longer have to worry about that. And now that I am home, I'm getting started making something to eat. So that's nice. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm making tea for my wife. I'm not making dinner tonight. It's date night, technically. I mean, every night's date night when you hang out with the special one, right, hon? Yeah, she smiled at me. But it's date night. Maybe we'll get something out. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. It's been a long day. I'm pretty tired. Guys, we're getting closer to 200K. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed. I appreciate everyone that likes the videos. It means a lot to us. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.